We're going to get into the true prices of Whisper Valley, which is a neighborhood that is not far from the Tesla Gigafactory, 20 minutes from downtown. There's so much going on. It's near the airport. It has, you know what makes the neighborhood interesting is that it has geothermal heating and cooling on every home, and it has Google Fiber, and they just added AT&T Fiber and solar throughout the neighborhood. So you have community gardens, you have this amenity center with a beautiful pool. They are working on adding more phases. They're going to continue and build shopping areas, kind of like the Domain or Mueller. I know I bring those up a lot, but it's another live, work, play area. And so people are really starting to understand what's going on. The thing is, right now, there isn't much near it. And so people have kind of hesitated to purchase houses, but the people that know, or the people that did purchase houses, they're reaping the rewards. And so again, these true price videos are designed to help you understand, like, if you're entering into the market and you're interested in buying or even selling or renting one of these homes, then you know what the prices are going to be when you're looking into them. So I go by Ian of Austin everywhere on the internet. Thank you for being here. Let's get straight into the video. I'm just jumping straight into it this time. So look at the top, and we've got our active, under contract, pending, and closed. Closed we're going to do for 2 weeks. I'm sorry, why did I say 2 months? Okay, so remember, this is true prices. So the only way you can evaluate a true price is what the closed price is. However, leading up to it, what you see when you're looking on all these other websites like ianofAustin.com or Realtor.com or Opendoor or Redfin or wherever, when you're looking at these sites, what you see is the price that the person is listing it at. But you don't know what that person is paid for because Texas is a non-disclosure state. So I'm not choosing single family. Some of these houses are townhomes, some are condos. I'm not touching the bedrooms or anything like that, and we'll get into some more information later. Let's take a look at the map so you can get a clear indication of where this is at. So the houses we're talking about are over in this area. It is an Austin address, but it's Manor School District, Manor ISD, and that's really important to note. And maybe at some point it might get annexed in, we don't know. But it's also important to note that it kind of operates independently. It's a public improvement district, and so the HOA, you're actually paying a little bit more in improvement taxes, if you will, on top of your standard property taxes if you purchase in this area. So the tax rate is actually really low. However, because you're adding that on there, it gets a little higher. So, and that's something we can talk about later in another video. So this is Lake Walter E. Long, important to know where that is. Austin right here, it's 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, depending on if you take 130 and then 290 over or where you're headed. And so downtown Austin is right here, right along the river. You have the International Airport over here, and then Colorado. So this is the Tesla Gigafactory over here. So just kind of giving you positioning, right? So you can have some spatial awareness for where we're looking. All right, so let's look at some of these houses. I will quickly go over, just super quickly go over the columns. So we have the status is active, you know, what status that house is in, address, beds, full baths. Does it have a garage? Not all these houses, look down here, these do not have garages. Okay, so when you're evaluating the prices and you see, oh, well, this one's less than 400,000. Yeah, but it doesn't have a garage. Does that matter to you? Okay, the year built, that's also important. They've been building these houses here for a few years, and it's just good to know, because if you're looking at one that's 2021, maybe even 2022 in here, those are builder houses. And so when you're looking at longer days on market, like this house right here, this Grapevine, it seems like all things are falling in line, but they don't have acreage, right? And then they don't have days on market, and it's active at a list price higher than almost everything, not everything else. Okay, I mean, a pretty substantial list price compared to some of these other houses. Well, that's a builder house. They put it on the market, and it's been sitting there while it was under construction. So keep that in mind when we're looking at them too. So I'm going to start backwards. Forward, backward. I'm going to start with the closed houses because that's what we're here for, right? So let's look at some of these closed houses. First example. So look at, these are the list price, and then we want closed price per square foot. Okay. So here's an example. If we look at, let's say this Grapevine Leaf, this is a good example. So it was listed at $652. It closed at $652. Not really a surprise there. $3,300 in Whisper Valley. $3,300 is an exceptionally large floor plan. Most of them, as you see, are sub 2,000. Okay. So let's look at this one over here. Okay. Here's a good example. This Becoming Street. What an interesting name. Becoming what? What are you becoming? You're becoming a full-fledged house in a little bit. So 4 beds, 2 baths, and it does have a garage. Great. 250 a square foot. That's on par with a lot of the neighborhoods in like Pflugerville and Round Rock and Cedar Park. So it may be slightly above that price point, but it's way well below what you're seeing in Austin for price per square foot. So listed at 430, closed at 442. Here's the key. It's a 2017. So that means someone purchased it, obviously a little while ago, and now they're selling it. It took them 20 days to sell, and it closed for just a little bit more. So that's good. And it's because as you see, there aren't a lot of houses on the market right now in this price range. So unless you don't want a garage or you want to sacrifice a bedroom. So we're looking at 1,700 square feet. The land. So it's less than a quarter acre of land. You're not getting large houses here or a lot of land. What you're getting is a community. You have community gardens, you have walking trails, you have amenity centers that you're hanging out with people at. So active solar, remember, you're getting that as part of this. The tax rate, 1.94. It is deceiving, right? So because your actual tax rate, and I haven't done the math, but you take that and then you add another $100 or $200, maybe $100 on top of that. So really it's more like a tax rate of like 2.3 or 2.4 or something like that. You'd have to do the math. But also your HOA, 165 quarterly. So that's important to note. All right. Okay. And let's just super quick run through these pictures and see if there's anything that's going to stand out. Oh, a lot of 2 stories here. That's important to note too. It's cheaper. It's less expensive, more cost effective to build 2-story homes because you're building up instead of out. The roof, the foundation, those cost a lot more. So if you build up, it saves you a lot of money in materials. So that's important for you to know. And it gives you're allowed to have a smaller yard because it takes up less footprint or real estate, if you will. Very straightforward design. It's still modern, but they have the subway tiles over here. They've got, and this, almost all of the builders that are out here do this. And you have a few builders. You have GFO, you have pace setters. You have, there's some builder called Thurman who I've never heard of before. So they're starting a phase out there. There used to be something called Avi, which was from a Canadian company. And I think they've bowed out. I don't know why or what happened. And so, yeah, there are a few others. Large tiles. This it kind of feels like a late 2010, 2013-ish house with some of the design, no hardware on. All electric. Okay, so this is really important. If you're moving to Whisper Valley, chances are everything, is going to be electric because remember, you're working off of solar panels, right? So water heaters, your water heater, you have to check, and it might be per builder, but I want to say that all of it's going to be electric. So you really want to check into that. I like the transom windows up top. Also, in case you don't know, if you're moving to Texas, the only thing that you have to ask for as far as appliances will the refrigerator and the washer and dryer convey. If you're buying it brand new, you're not going to get any of that. And you don't want to pay a builder for it anyway. But otherwise, you're going to have to ask the seller, if it's a used house like this, 2017, say, hey, am I going to get the fridge and the washer and dryer? And most of the time they'll give it. Nobody wants to deal with moving that stuff. I'm checking the sloping and the grading. So all of the foundations on these houses, first off, they're really unique because they created this like malleable foundation where it swells and changes with the seasons. And so the foundations here in the Whisper Valley area are supposed to be able to withstand a lot more than some of the foundations elsewhere. It's like some new breakthrough technology. I don't know. It's like a sponge when I had read about it. And when I visit out there. Okay, so that's interesting. So that gives us kind of an idea of that house. What else? Let's see. So do you think, I guess that's the question. Let me know in the comments. Do you think that this is worth an extra, paying $442 versus $430? Do you think that was worth the extra amount just looking at what you've seen so far? All right. Where's my agent single line? Okay. So that's one that's a substantial difference. This is the same. Okay, this one's a drop. I want to show you drops. I like when there's a variance for whatever reason, trying to understand what that is. So it took 30 days. All right. And it's a 3-bed, 2-bath, super modern, well, mid-century modern. Like it was modern in the 50s and then or 60s, 50s and 60s, 1950s and 60s. And then they brought it back and they were like, let's do it again. No, we don't know. And so built in 2020, it's 2,000 square feet. So this one's interesting. This one's Del Valley ISD. And I believe that some are Manor, some are Del Valley, and you'll have to check it. Oh, no. So look, Manor address, Del Valley ISD. Okay. Still Travis County. I wonder if it's where it's built, right? That could be a factor in there. So let's just quick look. I'm digging the blue personally. Some people might say, that's gaudy, but I kind of like it. I mean, yeah, well, I like it. It looks exactly the same as the other house, maybe some different colors. The flooring might be different. There's hardware on here, but the people, whoever purchased it, put it on there. The builders don't typically put the hardware. The owners changed out the fixtures. They got a counter depth fridge, it looks like, so that way you don't have a hard time walking through. There's a little overhang on the island. Stainless steel appliances. This comes from the builder, the dishwasher, and then the buyer has to purchase their own. I like when there's little inlets, a little crevice like that, so you can put something, vase, a picture, or whatever. You don't get much character. Like it's all very square these days. Like, that's just a lot of builders, a lot of houses. It's so easy to do that. You don't see the same in this price point. You don't see the same like grand archways and spiral staircases, and that's unless you're starting to get kind of into some higher price ranges. But that's also not the point of this neighborhood, right? You're buying the efficiency of the neighborhood. You're buying the proximity to the city. You're buying the green features. Speaking of green features, what's interesting is like one of the builders, so I just got under contract last night with one, and they're doing spray foam insulation. They're doing all sorts of energy efficiency things. And normally I'm real careful with generalizations, but oftentimes builders are hit like the 70 to 80% range in efficiency, and lower numbers better. It's like golf, right? Some of these houses are like 25 on a rating scale for energy efficiency. So they're super energy efficient on top of solar, on top of the geothermal. So you should be saving a lot of money in utilities. This is great for first-time home buyers. This is great for people with like a minimalistic lifestyle. It's great for people who want to rent in the future, but they want to start their family here and don't necessarily need to be near things right this second. So what I mean by that is they have all these phases that they're building out, but it's going to take a year or two before you start seeing stuff show up, because they were supposed to do it 2 years ago. And then, the pandemonium happened. I heard my friend Christina Smallhorn call it a pandemonium. I said, I'm going to call it that every time, because on YouTube, you can't say that or else you'll get flagged or something, or at least you wouldn't be able to. Okay. So let's look at some of these existing prices right now. Okay. So Moonlit Path, 545, been on the market 53 days. Interesting that it is a resale home. See, so I'm going to call it gouging at 325 a square feet. They're trying to maximize their profit. It's not gouging if somebody buys it, but it's been on the market almost 2 months and nobody's bid yet, or at least they haven't accepted an offer yet, right? I don't know that. And it's funny because look, they're competing with this person at 546. So the price is the same, but look at the square footage. Somebody's asking them to pay $50 more per square foot, right? Like, who in their right mind would do that for almost the same house? I mean, I guess you're getting an extra half bathroom. Maybe the houses look really different. I don't know. Okay, so let's get one of them that's pending, and then okay, so 575. So 4 beds. 4 beds is pretty common. 334 days on market. Okay, this is again a builder, so we're gonna skip that. But 2 bedrooms. I want to open this up specifically because I think it's a condo. They don't even show anything. You don't even see anything. That's why it's sitting on the market like this. But I think it's either a condo or a townhome. So remember, they do have townhomes too. All right, let's get one more good one. One more sumptuous. That sounds like a good one. It's not closed yet, right? So we don't actually know, and it's resale, so we don't know the prices. Let's look at some houses that are active on the market so we know what people are expecting to pay. All right, so if you're looking at Whisper Valley right now, you're seeing prices in the mid fives or, quarter fives all the way up to the sevens, right? So if you're spending $700,000 on a house in Whisper Valley, let's see what you're going to get. Mid-century modern. Okay, so the builder is GFO Home, and I really like that builder. So a lot of people don't know this, but GFO stands for Guillen Family Owned. It used to be Guillen, and then they had like this whole breakup and sold that part of the business, or maybe it was family. I don't know. All I know is that it used to be Guillen. They redesigned. They started a new company, and now it's Guillen Family Owned. So don't be fooled when you see GFO and think, oh, that's a completely different builder. I mean, there's some relation there. They might do things differently. I do like GFO personally a lot more than I like Guillen for a variety of reasons. All right, so let's open this up. 11 pictures. This is inside the amenity center. Great. This is the top. This is the amenity center. So over here is you have like a wellness thing. Like you can go in, you can learn about like the geothermal and all that. And on the other side, you have the gym. And then the pool is on the other behind it. Okay, so this is inside of it. So keep us wired. Yeah, but they're not showing. Okay, I was like, they're not even showing the house because the house isn't. I don't know if it's built yet. So here's our floor plan. It looks pretty good. So you go in the garage. Where's the entry? Where the heck is the entry to this house? Foyer. Okay, so garage entry or foyer. Okay, there you go. And then you go up and around and up. Okay, so you have to walk through the kitchen and then go upstairs. Okay, got it. And then this is your upstairs. All right, all the bedrooms are upstairs. 5 bedrooms. That's pretty good. So if you have a need for all these bedrooms, a lot of people are working from home now. And so having, 2 studios, a bedroom for maybe a kid or your cat or whatever, and then the owner's suite, game room, loft area, extended game room. This is a really cool floor plan. Really cool floor plan if you've got good knees, because you have to run up and down the stairs. Actually, no. Where's the primary bedroom? Downstairs. Okay, so this, in my opinion, is I see why they're commanding the price. You can be an owner, not have to run up and down the stairs all the time. You have a great kind of layout, covered patio in a really cool neighborhood, and an upstairs with so much extra space. I get it. Okay, so I'm not talking crap anymore because so look at the size of it, and then notice that you're paying $200 a square foot, which is much lower than some of these other houses that we had seen. So generally, the larger square footage, you pay less per square foot. Thing is, rarely, unless you need the space, rarely do you want to be the biggest house on the block, because when you go to sell it later, guess what? Now you're the biggest house on the block and you're going to make less per square foot. So you got to be careful with that. Not all the time, but sometimes, unless you like deck it out and put maybe a rooftop deck or something crazy like that. Oh, that would cover the solar panels. I don't know if you should do that. Any other questions about this? If you have any, feel free to reach out. I would love to kind of help you answer. I think that, let's see, is there anything else that really just seems exciting? So let's talk about entry into the neighborhood. I think that's an important point. If you're coming in along here, so this is 130, right? So if you're coming in along here, think about how long it will take you to get in or out of a neighborhood when you're considering your purchase, because it might take you 10 minutes to get from here just to here if there's traffic. So if you think you're driving 30 minutes to get somewhere, well, you have to add 10 more if you're coming from back here and everybody's waiting for school buses and such, right? So now it's a 40-minute drive when you thought you're going to have a 30-minute drive. So always keep those kinds of things in mind when you're looking into new neighborhoods. So for a community like this, what would you say is an attraction for you? Or maybe a reason why you wouldn't move here? I'm super curious. So obviously the prices are what the topic of the day was, but how do you feel about the other things like the geothermal heating and cooling, the solar panels on everything? How do you feel that you actually have to have solar panels? You don't get to choose. You have to purchase solar panels for the home that you build. And I guess I'm just curious what people think. I don't know that a lot of people know about this community, but if you are interested or you want to go out there and visit, just hit me up on Instagram or TikTok or something like that at ianofAustin, and I will see you in the next video.